Welcome live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. It's June 15th, the start of Bike Week and the start of our countdown to Racing Hotspot Summer Series 2015. We'll talk about that later on the show. Here we go, show lineup, quick show here. We have Motorsports in 60. We're going to talk about IndyCar. We're going to quickly recap the 24 Hours of Le Mans. We're going to take a break. Then we're going to talk about NASCAR. We're going to talk about the Points Championship. We're going to talk about the final lap. So here we go. Motorsports in 60 starts now. Thank you. 60 seconds. The Great Clips 250 was raced at Michigan on Saturday. Here's your top five. Finishing fifth, Elliott Sadler. Chris Buescher finished fourth. Kyle Larson finished third. Chase Elliott, my apologies, finished second. And Kyle Busch won the race. Welcome back, Kyle. Driving for Lyman 200 was raced Saturday night. Also, it ended like Sunday morning. Early Sunday morning in Gateway, Missouri, or St. Louis, right outside of St. Louis. Here's the top five. Cameron Haley finished fifth. John Hunter Nemechek finished fourth. Johnny Sauter finished third. Spencer Gallagher finished second. And Cole Custer won that race. And we know what you're going to say about the truck race. Hold back your fury for the NASCAR segment. That's why.
Yeah, 7 seconds. Nice job for John Hunter Nemechek, though.
Yes. And Cole Custer, congrats on him. IndyCar, they raced the Honda Indy Toronto Grand Prix. That's a mouthful. On Sunday, they raced in the rain.
I didn't get to see it.
It was a typical rain race. It rained, and then it was done raining when the start of the race. So it was kind of a strategy. Do we go to slicks? Do we stay on wets? What should we do?
Right, wet track though.
Yeah, it was wet track, and it was drying throughout the race, and it makes for quite an interesting race, especially for those crew chiefs. Here's your top five. Sebastian Bourdais has finished fifth. Will Power finished fourth. Helio Castroneves finished third. Oh, geez. Luca Felipe?
I believe it's Lucia.
Lucia.
I'm not 100% sure on that one. Lucia Felipe?
Yes. Lucia Felipe finished second. And Joseph Newgarden won the race. That right there, second place, should just show you how crazy of a race it was. Because he's not usually in the top five. And he finished second. So yeah, great job for him.
But we will have to research that name because I could pronounce that 4 different ways now I'm looking at it.
In your head you're going, wait, is it that?
And the first place was?
And Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, you didn't say it yet.
I thought I did say it.
Did he? I don't remember saying it. Alright. Well.
So now to the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which this race, I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook, it threw me off.
About the Audi?
No, about the time. It was midnight here and it was 6 a.m. there. I forgot that they were in a different part of the world because the last time 24-hour race I watched was at Daytona.
Right.
So I'm watching the race.
The keyword there is Le Mans.
Yeah.
Not Daytona.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like watching the race and I'm like, it's getting brighter. This isn't.
Yes, I did see that.
They're in France. Oh, anyways, we're gonna go over the top five. We're gonna give the. I'm not even gonna say the number. I'm just gonna say the team and try to pronounce the name. I'm gonna need your help here.
Which one are we looking at?
Yes.
Fifth?
No. Well, yes, that's a good place to start.
Well, you usually start from the bottom up.
So finishing fifth was, shoot.
Jenny Neal.
Jenny Neal in the number 18 Porsche. Porsche 919 hybrid.
Yep. The only thing that confuses me with that, isn't there multiple drivers?
Yes, there are.
This is the
but
way
we only talk about one.
This is the way it came up when I pulled out the results.
So he's the guy that actually finished the race?
I guess.
Exactly. He's the last one driving over the finish line.
Well, gee.
I got an issue
but the other drivers are right there.
Yeah, credit should be dealt where
and they are
due.
And on most of the TVs, you'll see the driver on top, the one finished, and then the other two right below him.
Or
well, everybody got them there. It wasn't just the one guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and with a tutor, they'll do like just Neil / so-and-so / so-and-so for number 18. Finishing fourth was the number 8 Audi Sport Team.
I would go exactly the way it's spelled.
Yeah.
Degrassi Lucas.
Lucas Degrassi. Oh, shoot.
You got it backwards?
No. It's first name, it's Nico Hulkenberg. Brendan. So it's...
Oh, so you just copied somebody else's thing here. Is that what I'm getting?
This was Fox Sports'.
Okay, so the fifth place was Neil Janney.
Neil Janney finished 5th.
And
Lucas deGrassi finished 4th. Finishing 3rd was the number 7 Audi Sport Team.
I used to have somebody with that last name, as he's got it as his first name, but Benoit.
Benoit and
I would go Trillier.
Trillier.
The E's got something over it, so it's supposed to be. We really got to get better at this.
Maybe we should I should bring these to my foreign language teacher before the show and say help.
Right.
Help.
Well, you know what? He might not even know because it depends on where you're from and how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It makes it difficult.
Oh.
But I think you've done the best you could on that one.
Yeah. Finishing 2nd was the number 17 Porsche Team, Brendan Hartley?
Looks real easy to me.
Hartley, okay. And winning the race overall was the number 19 Porsche Team. The driver running at the time was Nico Hulkenberg. He's the Formula 1 driver, so we know that.
395 laps, huh? Everybody else was 394 or less.
Whoa. That's a long race.
Well, it's because you got to bear in mind that it's timed, so
yeah.
There is no actual how many laps you're supposed to finish. It's obviously how many laps you pull off, and he pulled off quite a few turns. 395
on an 8-mile.
5th place was 391.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
Whoa. Gonna take a break here. Though on the other side of the break, we're gonna talk about NASCAR, the Points Championship, and the final lap. NASCAR is gonna be its own hour-long show. So I'm kidding. We're gonna try to keep that quick. But
you mean as opposed to the 8 hours that it actually turned out to be?
Yeah, the race itself.
The cup race.
Yes. So after the final lap, we're going to talk about some exciting things coming up for us, including what that poster is, why that poster is up on the back wall. So yeah, on the other side of the break, we'll have all those things. So we'll be right back. Welcome back live in a Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. So now let's get right into things with the NASCAR recap. We're rushing because he's got things to do, I got things to do. Not that the show isn't important, but you know what I mean.
Well, I think what you got to go do is kind of important because it's teaching you how to drive.
Yeah, driver's ed meeting means I'll have my license by the end of this or by next school year. Here's the top 5 for the Quicken Loads 400 raced at Michigan. Probably, maybe longer than the 24 hours of Le Mans, or at least it felt like it.
Seemed that way. Definitely seemed that way.
Here's the top 5. Finishing 5th, Joey Logano. Matt Genseth finished 4th. Martin Truex Jr. finished 3rd. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished 2nd. And Kurt Busch won the race, now his 2nd win of the year.
Right place at the right time.
Yes, and Kyle Larson 3 laps short. Darn it! I feel the same way that you feel about Eric Jones in the truck race, which is going to bring us right to the truck race.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. He most likely would have taken that. But it happens. They tried, they gambled, and unfortunately, just a few laps too short.
Yeah, and luckily the crew chief is. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the crew chief's reaction when it rained. He's like.
Yeah, afterwards, after they pitted him and whatnot, and then he gets back, yes, and then he's like.
But you know what? He had a smile on his face.
Hey, they tried.
He wasn't one of those crew chiefs that's like, really? He was like laughing and like.
Well, a lot of people will say that a rain-ended race isn't a real win. Well, the purse is still the same, so I consider it a real win. Yeah. You still take that first place purse. They don't take that away because it rained.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that NASCAR did. I was listening on the radio and whatnot. As I told you, I was working, and my DVR fell short. I had it extended 90 minutes, which is the longest you can do, unless you do it manually. And I didn't even get to see the vast majority of the race. But I think they did do everything they could to try to get that whole race in. So you got to give them the credit where the credit is due.
And Air Titans, oh my God.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned, actually, on the radio, somebody had mentioned, wouldn't you love to be the guy supplying the fuel? Because those things were like out. It's like, alright, we're back to racing, and we're not anymore. Alright, we're back to racing, and we're not anymore. We're just non-stop. Because like I said, I was listening to it on the radio.
It was more like, get in the car, get out of the car, get in the
Well,
car,
did you
get
hear
out of the car.
that there was another thing too? On the last one, at this point I was listening to it on the radio. The drivers were told to get back in the car, and about half of them didn't. They were like, all right, if I gear up again, only to take this all off again. But then they wound up all getting pushed into their cars by their teams.
Right.
But yeah, they were kind of getting tired. I think they got more tired from going in and out of the cars than they did from driving.
And they did really extend the yellow flag there to get past the point where they could say, okay, we'll cancel the race.
Yeah.
They put them out there running around a lot on the yellow.
Man has not figured out a single thing to do about Mother Nature.
Nope.
She wins every time.
And Mr. Waltrip's, what do they call that?
Vortex.
Vortex didn't work too good.
No, you knew right at the start.
Hold on.
When that race started, which I did catch before I left the house,
Right.
I mean, that was looming.
That wasn't it. Yeah,
As they came into turn one, you just saw this nightmarishly dark thing coming. And us in New Hampshire, we know what that's all about. Just got to come past the mountain, and once it does, you know it's about to
you got it.
be pretty nasty.
Well, the thing is it did work. Think about they got 110 laps in under green or something like that with cautions.
Yeah, but what it was is if you had looked at any kind of radar, you would have seen
They
that.
were popping up.
Yeah, it was pop-ups. Like it was like you saw nothing coming across, and all of a sudden it just turned green and
The back
whatnot.
straightaway
Yeah,
in
right over
turn
the
3 was wet and the rest of the track was dry.
So in this case, I think that the vortex was sucking in the the moisture instead of pushing it away. Anyhow, I just said congratulations, Kurt Busch and the Haas Automation number 41 Chevrolet team. Right place at right time. And like I said, you know, the money's still the same. It's a win's a win. Doesn't really matter, and that would be 2 for them this year. For a guy who was unfortunately suspended in the beginning of the season. I think he's having a great season.
In all honesty, after that, when Fox reported that turn 4 and half the front straightaway was wet, I was like, why don't we just make a rallycross? Put a tire barrier, like on the end of the straightaway, just have them loop around, go back down the straightaway, around the back straightaway, back around.
Well, I'd say that NASCAR
course.
needs to be in discussions with Goodyear in reference to actually coming up with a rain tire. But I know that they are, so it's not like they're not making the effort. They're trying to figure something out.
They have one for road courses. And
I know.
They've
Well,
announced that
I know.
they are...
The question is, why don't they use it? That's the big question. Why don't they use it even on ovals or come up with another design? If open wheel cars can do it, you got to think about it. Open wheels. You're riding a bicycle in the rain, right?
Yeah.
You know, you get that line up your back?
Yeah.
Well, try to imagine being the guy sitting in between 4 wheels spitting water. You're getting wet. I don't care who you are. You're getting wet.
Yeah.
At least at the NASCAR, you know, with these types of cars, it's like much like driving the car that you and I would drive every day. It's being kept under the wheel wells, unless you get tires that are slightly wider than the fenders, like my truck, where it comes up in a big spiral. But still, you're inside the car, so you're not getting soaking wet. There has to be a way they can do it. Understood, the speed would slow down,
Yes.
but it slows down even in Indy or Formula One. Although Formula One, I think they're psychotic when they ride in the rain. But if they can do it, why can't NASCAR? That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, exactly. I know NASCAR's announced that they are going to run in. They're going to qualify in the rain at road courses. They're going to run in the rain at road courses as long as it's not torrential.
Right.
And it makes sense. But I almost feel like they don't do it at certain tracks. Like, they could probably run in the rain at New Hampshire. They could probably run at the rain in Michigan.
Michigan's fast.
Kind
So.
of. Daytona, no. You couldn't run in the rain there because of the speeds they have, and you have to keep a certain speed to stay on those
Actually,
bankings.
Daytona and Michigan are not that far off speed-wise.
No, I know. But Michigan, you can slow down, and the banking isn't that hard. You could, like...
See, I would think you'd be able to use the banking to your advantage. So I'm really not sure on that one. Like I said, they need to do the research. They got to figure it out. There's got to be a way to make it happen. Now, whether it's going to slow them down or not, that's entirely up to the drivers. And you want to hit the wall, or you want to slow down a little bit. I'm going to slow down a little bit to try to win the race.
What do they do at Eldora? They're slipping and sliding all over the place, and yet that's still great racing.
Yeah, that's dirt.
I know, but the...
You're slipping and sliding whether it's dry or not.
Well, I know, but I'm saying the slickness of dirt could be not as much, but could be translated to asphalt and rain. Not as much, but it
No,
could.
I think it could be about the same. Once you start getting muddy.
Yeah, exactly. They run a treaded tire to Eldora. Why couldn't they try it maybe at Martinsville race? If
No, it's like I said. I think it's a matter of them getting everything together. Between them and Goodyear, trying to figure out a way, get some tests done, that type of stuff.
So now to the Xfinity race.
I have a question I'd like to ask you guys before we leave this. What do you think Kyle Busch's chances are of making it?
It's going to be tight.
He could win, but he's got to be in the top 30.
That's the thing.
This last race was kicking the butt.
I don't believe there's a possibility he's not going to win at least one of the races left. But do you think he's going to make the points?
Well, DNF is painful. So
Yes.
It's going to be hard. He's basically, what do we have left now?
I do believe, though, in my opinion, that NASCAR has given him the best shot they can.
Yeah, and I said it when they first gave it, that I didn't even believe, even though he is my lead driver, I don't believe honestly that it is fair, because I don't think that he really, being out that as long as he was, it's a bad season. He can still get out there and do everything. He can still get out there and get his wins and make the purses and all that other fun stuff. So it's not like they'd be taking anything away from him other than the cup. So it's, once again, we're going to have a strange year if Kyle does get in and then wins the championship.
That would be really weird. Yeah.
Exactly. So
really weird.
I like how close Newman came last year. And I don't even know, has anybody even noticed Ryan Newman?
Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, top 5 like every week.
Yeah, he's out there. He's doing his thing.
Him and Martin Truex have been just coming up from the underneath. Real close. Where's Truex now? Second in points?
I think so. Kyle Busch is 39th. Hold on. Truex is, second.
Kyle Busch is going to need a rash of top 5s.
Yeah.
Top 5s and top 10s to get himself in. Otherwise, it's not going to happen with only 14 races to go. So that's my opinion.
Well, that's what I was asking. I wanted to see what you guys thought of it.
No, the DNF was killer because he was having a great day.
He was having a good day.
That would have been that would have probably put him up 5 positions in points if he would have actually finished top 5. So now with the DNF, that's going to set him back a little further. So he's really going to have to pull off some top 10s and top 5s. Hopefully top 5s, because that's where you're really getting those points.
Okay. And the Xfinity race was very interesting.
That was, from what I saw, I was working, boring. But
I did watch that one, but I watched it recorded.
you recorded it.
Right, I was watching it recorded.
Must be nice.
Yeah, well, you have access to my DVR. You know how to use it.
Better than you, in all honesty.
So we're switching over to...
But the DVR doesn't go 8 hours.
No.
It would if I said it was doing it manually. You can only add 90 minutes. But then if you sit there and you go to guide and record the other things that are there, problem was I couldn't do that because I wasn't there. I was over at the house working.
Got to get our wireless recorder.
I unfortunately am a busy person during the summertime, and my sister and brother-in-law have made it way busier.
Well, this is just the chase grid right now. As of right now, Newman is 16th, Almirola is 15th, Menard's 14th, Gordon's 13th, Kane is 12th, and McMurray is 11th, and then, of course, top 10 is all winners. So.
Yep. So Kurt is standing 3rd right now, followed by Truex. Nice.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to think about it. That's another one. Kurt Busch was out, what, 4 races?
Yeah, 4 races.
So 4 races, he stands a real good chance of taking the championship this year, as of right now. And he has been having a really good season. Yeah, or should I say he's another one who's been having a very good season.
Yeah. So now to the Xfinity Series.
Yep.
We'll get to the trucks in a minute, but Xfinity, you just said it was a good race, or he said it was a good race. You
good
said
race.
You watched it on DVR.
Crazy final 10 laps. I mean, the last 10 laps pretty much determined who won, but at 10 to go, you couldn't even guess who was going to win.
No.
It was just absolutely craziness. Logano and Harvick messed it up late in the race for themselves. Harvick accepted the fault, which was great. I love to see when a guy just says, yeah, I did that. Don't bring it back next week, that kind of thing, to Logano. I was really hoping Chase Elliott would pull it off, but Kyle Busch literally hunted him down. I mean, it was like it was just prey. Just kept coming on and on and on, and then just boop, once he got past him, it was game over. There was no catching him. Again, the Cup guys killed. Although the closest other Cup guy beyond Kyle Busch was 6th Harvick, 7th Logano, 8th Almirola, and 10th Hamlin. So there were a lot of Xfinity guys up front there, which was nice to see. And that means they're getting a lot more competitive with the Cup guys, which is good. So in a way, I guess maybe it does work. And what I say every week is nil. I mean, it's hard to say, really. On another note, Danica did fare in booth, but like the average woman, talked too much.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't agree.
She kept stepping on everybody else that was trying to talk. You didn't catch that?
I caught that, but you know she was sitting next to Michael
It was impossible to
Walker,
talk over.
who is impossible to talk with.
Well,
He gets going, you can't get it where it in edgewise.
Yeah.
And she was doing a good job of getting her points in, and her points were very good.
Well, a couple times he did like one of these.
Yeah, right.
But I was kind of on his side.
I liked her. I thought she did very well.
She definitely had the knowledge.
Yeah, definitely.
Which was very important. I mean, she's not panning out like Jeff Gordon has behind the booth, but she's also younger, less experienced, and as time goes by, maybe she'd be great.
She might be.
Maybe great at it. I think Jeff, on the other hand, coming around next year, he's going to be good to have in the booth.
I can just imagine Adam Alexander as those two are going at it. He's like, guys, what do I do? What do I do? They're going back and forth.
Adam Alexander's been around long enough that he isn't going to be phased by anybody.
Well, that's why I laugh when you've got Michael and Darrell Waltrip in there.
Yeah, that's like, hysterical.
How's anybody going to get a word in?
Chris Myers is like, I'm just going to get a couple cups of coffee. Just...
That's it.
Keep going.
You just take the camera and shift it over to these two, because I'm just going to be here listening.
I'm going to watch the Saturday. He pulls out his phone and just starts watching the World Cup.
So that's pretty much what I had on Xfinity.
Okay. Truck race. I'm glad it went late. I was able to watch it.
Yeah, actually, I think we were talking, and I think I told you it was still on or something, and then you realized.
Well, I went over to Fox Sports because I'm like, oh, it's probably a couple like 60 laps left, and 24 hours in Le Mans. I'm like, what? And then I read along the bottom that it was under a rain delay. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that was late. I mean, like I said right there, crazy late start, 10:42 p.m. Now, granted, that's what 9:42 where they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not terrible, but it's still pretty late. I mean, if we were over here with Loudon and we had lights and we were waiting that long from a 1 o'clock start, try to imagine.
1 o'clock?
No. I'm just saying
what
we deal with.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, if we had lights, maybe the trucks would be starting later. And what was the official time? It was supposed to be 8:30?
I think like 9.
8:30.
Well, they went on air at 8:30. The race, I believe, was supposed to start.
They went on air at 8.
Yeah, actually, he's right because of the hour difference. It was the 8:30.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
The setup at 8:30, and then 9 o'clock was supposed to be the start time. That's right. So it wasn't that bad. Just an hour and 42 minutes late.
Yeah.
At that point in time, granted, I'm a late person, but even at that point in time, I was yawning, going, "They're really starting this?" And I gotta stay up.
Did they have the air tighten there? Was the air tighten drying the track, or was it all jet dryers?
No, they were using it was pouring.
Well, I know that, but
at race at start time.
I didn't know if they had enough to if trucks were here, Xfinity was there, and Cup was there. If they had enough to distribute everything.
Oh, I'm sure they do. A lot of the trucks are on their own at this point.
Did anybody watch what do you call it, the pit crews with the brushes? One guy stands on the brush and
Danica Patrick.
the other guy. Danica Patrick did it.
That was during the Cup race.
That was during the Cup race. But they do that during all the races.
Well, you can't. They did point out the fact that you can't have like the Jackman stand on it because it won't hold. You have to have somebody little, like Danica or
that was funny.
Kevin
yes.
Harvick, for instance, or
Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon. I think Logano might even be. I was actually, when we met him, I was actually surprised at how tall he was.
He's very tall.
Yeah, he's a very tall kid. So he's definitely weighing more than any of the three I just mentioned. So he may not be able to be on there. But no, you definitely can't have like the Jackman or the Gasman standing on it.
No,
because that ain't gonna work.
The Jackman's the one pushing it, whereas you have the person on it.
Yeah, the guy in the tower, a couple of guys in the booth actually had made jokes about it, how they were too fat for it, and it wouldn't work if they were on it. But yeah, it was pretty funny. And you know, you would, if you didn't know about it, you would have thought it was almost like a joke when they showed Danica
Right.
Patrick, like she was joking with them.
No,
This serves real purpose. She's actually making it sweet
Well,
in the grooves.
you watch when that broom moved, you could see the wave it was creating in front of it.
Yep.
There was a tremendous amount of water there.
I like the one comment from the pit announcer. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Well, at this point, I'm sitting here in ankle-deep water, and if it was, what did he say? Oh, if I was Mark Martin, I would be in knee-deep water.
Oh, that's not
And Mark was probably sitting in Miami going, did he just say that?
Really?
Right?
Twitter?
But it was pretty funny. I mean, if you think about it, ankle-deep water for some guys is knee-deep water for others.
But truck race, as soon as Eric Jones wrecked,
Yeah,
I heard you.
Total domination.
I heard
and
you
just
from
blows
where-
it.
I heard you from where I was. Really? Are you kidding me?
That was pretty good because it's pretty much what was my reaction. Especially you talking what? When did the race end?
Like midnight.
Yeah, I mean,
One
I think
o'clock.
it was after midnight, but I know it was after midnight when Jones blew it.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, yeah, you're getting tired, and it's like you're hanging in there this whole time with the hopes this kid's finally gonna win, and no. What, 3 laps to go?
No, like 15.
Still, it felt like 3 laps to go at that point. It's
then-
like, really? Come on!
Of course, he wrecks out, and you're like, oh great, there goes Crafton and run away with the points, and he wrecks the next on the
Yep.
restart. It's like, of course, one thing happens, something else happens, and it keeps it all right and tight.
Now, did I even make it? Yes, I did.
I wonder if Eric Jones did kind of get relieved when Crafton wrecked. You know what I mean? Almost like okay, one of my main competition there just got wrecked. He's sitting behind me on pit road.
There was another race too, and now I'm reading my notes. It reminds me there was another race too that, like the Xfinity race, had like a wild last bunch of laps. I mean, in this case, it was the last 20. There was so many changes, position-wise, and all the above. It was craziness. But congratulations to Cole Custer and the Haas Automation Junior Motorsports Chevrolet team, 17 years old.
Second win.
Which we had to talk about.
Yeah, second win. Do you know where his first win came?
Nope. On the top of my head, no.
right there.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. They did point out that it was
Right.
Laden, and you pointed it out too. That's right. Yes, I did.
I was gonna say, I
just
know
didn't
the
remember.
picture's on here. It's
You know what gets me confused though?
oh jeez.
This is one of the things I'm telling you. I'm trying to do what they do when they're congratulating or thanking and all that other stuff, and include everybody involved. Okay, so what got me was the Haas Automation Junior Motorsports Chevrolet team. Now, JRM is Earnhardt Jr., correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but Haas Automation, who has his own team, was sponsoring Junior's team. Okay, so that threw me for a loop, and I had to look it up a few times just to make sure I wasn't saying the wrong thing.
Well, Haas is with a Cup team. He runs it, but he also sponsors an I believe, Cole Custer's old Arca car. I'm not
I
sure.
think that's where he came from.
There's a picture here on Google Images. I actually messed with one of my friends by putting a picture of Cole Custer as his lock screen on his computer today. It's really bad when you know your way around a computer. Easily just switch it up. There you go. That is a...
You should try being your cousin who can do it from his house in Ohio.
I'm good. Yeah, that's the K&M Pro Series car.
Once in a while he likes to mess with me.
Well, gee, I can do that. If I installed something on your Google Chrome, I can do it easily. But we won't get into that. Yeah, he used to run the K&M Pro Series East car, East Series, and that was his
The Haas
sponsor.
Automation. Yeah, that's it.
So, I don't know. Haas likes to sponsor people, likes to have his name out there. And
Well, you can
He
think about it
just-
this
he's
weekend
just a-
alone.
He's just someone who loves racing.
yeah,
This weekend
exactly.
alone, though, his name came in on 2 winners.
Yeah.
Across
He,
the
what do
hood.
you call it? He
Haas. Good weekend for them. I didn't even actually think about that. It was a great weekend for Haas Automation.
Mhm.
Because not only did Cole Custer win, so did Kurt Busch. Both driving Haas Automation.
Yep.
Although Haas actually owns Kurt's car, as
Yeah.
opposed to Junior owning, and that's what I was saying. That's where I got kind of a little bit confused.
I didn't
as to,
even know.
am
I didn't
saying
even
this
know.
right?
I didn't even know Junior Motorsports had a truck. I thought he only had an Xfinity car. Like I knew of Chase Elliott's car and Regan Smith's. Actually, they're both
Well, he's
right
growing,
there.
and
So I
that's the
was
same
like,
thing.
oh.
Bush's Kyle Busch is probably going to follow pretty closely behind. He's going to be a team owner. There is no offense about it. The guy can pick drivers.
Kyle Busch Motorsports already has a late model on a truck,
Yep,
and he partially owns
the Nationwide.
his Xfinity car. So,
I'm Nationwide.
so he,
How many seasons has it been? There's just this one.
I know,
Be fair.
I know. I'm not helping there either. Look at the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Oops.
I guess we're going to have to get new stickers.
Yeah. But yeah. So congrats to them, all winners.
It was a fun but rainy weekend of racing. And apparently stuff even I didn't see, like Indy, you said, was the same.
Yeah.
It was all. Everybody had a tough.
And I even think
a very wet weekend.
Yeah. I even think that there was an hour or two of the Le Mans race that it rained. So I'm pretty sure Mother
Yeah, but those guys are used to it. That's
No,
like,
I know, but I'm
that's
pretty-
like driving my car in my
Yeah.
car, but really fast in the rain.
Well, I'm pretty sure Mother
Although, if you
Nature.
saw the way I drove over here,
I'm pretty sure Mother Nature was kind of going race, 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 race. You know what I mean? Just throwing
Yeah.
darts. And the Xfinity race was the only one that didn't get wet. So
taking your father's home.
either that or my sister or
Jumping up and
Onyx,
down?
or Onyx is throwing a party. I don't know. So are we ready to move on?
Sure.
All right, now to the points championship. And I'm kind of liking leading, but at the same time I hate it. Because it's like, Casey Kane, I'm literally getting to the point where I have a dartboard in my room going, taken. All right,
Yeah,
redo.
but you picked the pole sitter.
Yeah, because you guys let me nothing. In all honesty,
You picked the pole sitter.
I didn't think, how many
It
times,
left you nothing.
how many times,
And we all knew he had pole when you finally sent out the requests.
I know, but how many times is
Which, by the way, is not supposed to do.
don't look at the rule book. Don't look at that.
I've been asking for a copy of that for.
You have it. Look in
Decades.
your Google Drive. You have it too. Everyone has it. But anyway, how many times does the pole sitter actually? No offense, Casey Kane, in this point, but how many times does the pole sitter actually go on and win?
Once, twice a season.
Yeah, exactly. So him throwing him there was kind of like he's starting on pole, but what's the chance?
It's still a good chance.
What's the chance? And yeah, I don't know.
What's the chance? At least 1 in 43.
1 in 42, including him. So now to the points championship. Here's the winners. I had
I
kept.
thought you said they teach you math.
They do.
It'd still be 1 in 43.
It would be. I thought.
Yes.
I thought. You know. No.
If there's 43 cars and he's 1, it'd be 1 in 43.
Okay. I'm not good with odds.
Am I wrong, Godfather?
No, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
The Las Vegas odds still throw me off. Kevin Harvick, 1 in 3. Wouldn't it be 1 in 40? Whatever. I'm not good with odds. Okay.
Well, those are gambling odds. That's a different story. That's a set odd. That's something somebody's doing. You know, predicting. I guess is the best way to put it. That's not an actual odd.
So.
Because you're right. Kevin Harvick would be 1 in 43.
I know. We got 30 minutes. Anyways, here's the winners. I had Casey Kane. Godfather, or Art, had Jeff Gordon. Justin had Dale Earnhardt Jr. Trooper had Joey Logano. Dave had Kyle Busch. Kristen had Jimmy Johnson. And Joe had Kevin Harvick. Here's how the results came out. I got second place. Art got 0. Justin got first place. Trooper got 4th place. Dave got 5th place. And Kristen got 3rd place. Now let's swing over.
How did I get 5th place? Because of the 88?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's swing over here to the standings.
So I'm confused. Junior finished 2nd, right? So how did I get 5th?
Okay. You got 5th place.
Right.
Junior finished 2nd. highest out of all these drivers.
Okay, I got you. That's good
Yeah.
enough. Yep. And Chris got 6 points. Why?
Because she was the highest out of all these drivers.
Okay.
Wait a minute. We're going to skip the points championship segment here. So,
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at this going, I don't know. Chris looks like she did better than that, but okay.
here's my reasoning. I forgot that there was a 41 here. Meaning Kristen got 4th and 3rd, not just 3rd. Meaning I need to go back and recalculate, removing Trooper's 4, adding Chris's 4. But actually,
So that means Trooper's got 0 now, or?
Trooper will have 0 for this week. So bear with me really quick here. So we're just going to add 4 to Kristen and subtract 4 from Trooper. Here's where you can judge me on my math. 79 minus 4 would be 75, and then add 4 here would be 75. One more, come on. 75. There you go. So we're going to have to change up these a little bit, and Trooper's going to fall back a position. Dave's going to fall back a position. Ouch. So
I guess I should have just shut my mouth up.
So yes, now I'm going to have to reorganize this later. But Kristen and Justin won this week with a total of 10 points. And the new order will be me, Justin, Art, Trooper and Kristen are tied for 4th. Then Dave will be
6 technically.
6th technically, and Joe will be in 7th. So I will reorganize those a little later on. Thank you.
So, but by me opening my mouth, I just pushed myself down even further on the list. Great. Whatever. I'm still trying to understand it. That's why
No,
I'm
I
looking
know,
at it going, wait, what?
I got home today. And I had probably 30 minutes before you were estimated to get here, 3:30. But then I found out that you had been a little later. But I had to finish up the final lap, finish up the points championships. So, yeah, bear with me. Anyways, to the final lap here. Supercross is off till October. Formula E is not on this weekend. They're off till June 27th, 28th. IndyCar is off till June 28th. Formula 1 Sunday 8 a.m. on NBCSN. Global Rallycross Saturday and Sunday 2 p.m. on NBC. They're racing at Daytona. The 2D United Sports Car Championships off till the 28th. The Trucks race Friday 8:30 on Fox Sports 1 there at Iowa. The Xfinity Series races Saturday 8:30 p.m. Fox Sports 1 there at Chicago. Chicago, right? Yeah. Yes. And then the Cup Series is off till the 28th. Next Sunday is Father's Day, which is partially why IndyCar is off. 2D United Sports Car Championships
You would
off.
think they would race on Father's Day. Mother's Day, I understand, but...
So, yep, and...
It's alright, I got a couple of night races anyway.
Yeah, we got 3 weeks until our race, or 3 races. There are 4 weeks, including next. But yes, we are in Bike Week here in New Hampshire, and this weekend we will be covering the Loudon Classic at NHMS, involving U.S. Legends Cars on the Road course and the 2 Loudon Classic motorcycle races.
Yep.
And then
I wanted to, on the note of Bike Week, thank all of the bikers. I want to say bicyclists, but that's not right.
Yeah.
All of the bikers for bringing their desperately needed ring. It happens every year. I don't know why, but it just does. Although it looks like they're going to have a good year this year. I think the rest of the week looks like it's supposed to be relatively clear.
58 today, 78 tomorrow.
Oh, and we dropped 20 from yesterday, so it's like, wow.
Yeah, Mother Nature with her hand on the dial. Turn it up. But yeah, on Saturday we'll be covering the Legends Road course on Saturday in the morning. Then the 2 motorcycle races, which will be different for me because I've never covered motorcycle racing. So, depending on how that goes, I might try to get a GoPro on one of the riders. But I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah, they have to have a mount, so...
Yeah, and I'd have to talk to them and make sure... may not happen this year. Then we'll have the Legends and Bandos on the mini oval that Saturday night. And Thursday night, we're going to be filming a POWMIA vigil, Bike Week vigil. it's pretty big because, as you know, bikers are usually the POWMIA. They're with that. So up in Meredith, they have it, and the bikers just go because it's part of the bike week. So yeah, got an exciting week. This weekend kicks off the Racing Hotspot Summer Series for this year, and we're going to have the Summer Series start this weekend and go all the way through the NASCAR September race here at NHMS. So for like 3 or 4 weeks at the end, we're not going to be in summer anymore.
Yeah. But you'll be away for part of it, won't you?
Yeah, I'll be away for about a week and a half in Florida, which is cool because we get to bring some Legends races down in Florida and stuff like that. Cool. So yeah, so we'll have more information on that coming up in the upcoming weeks. But yeah, we're in Bike Week, which I know is not really a major thing we usually cover. But next weekend, don't forget we have Formula One, the Global Rallycross, the Truck Series, and the Xfinity Series, all racing, and we'll have a show probably Monday again. Apparently, Monday shows work better for a certain co-host, so we'll switch over to recording on Mondays. And
well, let me ask you a question. It doesn't work out when you really think about it, because think about how late the race went last night. We would have had to been in a real rush to get it done last night.
And I would have had to go right to bed as soon as you were done. So yeah. So anyways, that's something we got to work on. But until we see each other, next weekend, recapping Formula One, Rallycross, and NASCAR, and then also some Loud and Classic stuff. Have a good week, everybody, and goodbye.